and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Tuesday, June 12th, 2018. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you had a great weekend and that your week's getting off to a good start. I'm filming this at about 7:30 on Tuesday morning. The futures look to be slightly negative to flat. In the news, it's all about Donald Trump's summit with North Korea. He's touting that to be a successful summit. But more importantly, maybe for the markets, it's the beginning of a two-day Fed meeting. So with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start these videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I always want to make sure that before I put a new chart forward, I'm putting it forward in a rising market environment. And I use the Russell Index as my simple proxy for the markets overall. So we're looking at the IWM, which is the ETF for the Russell 2000 5-year monthly chart, uptrending. Here we are so far for the month of June. We're only halfway through the month, but May was bullish. Pushing us up and over this range that was difficult for the Russell for several months, but here we are now for the month of June. I am going to put my drawings back in so we can see some support and resistance lines. This diagonal line is my most important line. These are more longer, this is short-term, medium-term, long-term support resistance. Kind of ignoring these for now and really focusing in this area up here. I'm going to actually change this one and make it a little more relevant. I haven't done that for a while. So as you can see on the monthly candles, as I said earlier, May bullish, and so far June is as well. So I'm going to move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. And I'm going to put that pink line of support resistance in here. There we go. It hit here, here, and it should offer some support should the markets start to look a little soft in the days ahead. We'll see. So weekly chart, as you can see, price is up and over the blue line, which I use as my guide. It's the 8-day EMA, and we are in this position here weekly. Let me swap it over to the daily, 3-month daily, up and over the blue, showing strength. So we'll see what the rest of the week brings, but with price up and over the 8-day EMA on both the daily and the weekly chart, I will be putting a new chart forward this morning for our watch list. And the chart that I wanted to feature for you this morning and add to our watch list is one that is very much in the news these days. It's United States Steel Corporation, ticker symbol X. Before I get into the chart though, let me tell you a little bit more about the company. I'm sure a lot of you are very familiar with United States Steel. They're a major steel producer in the United States. If you know me at Chart of the Day Cafe, I am all about the scores underneath the charts I put forward, and United States Steel has an excellent, excellent value score, along with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 39%, a current PE of 10.94, and it currently has a dividend yield, very small dividend of 0.54%. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 2-year weekly, and as you can see on the 2-year weekly, uptrending and consolidating. So it's in this area of consolidation here. I would draw an area of support right in here. So uptrending on the 2-year in an area of support. In a rising market environment with those scores, my assumption would be that US Steel would start to rise here. So that's the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. So here we are on the daily. Here's that area of support we identified. What I like to see here is the consolidation taking place. So US Steel breaks out of this little wedge pattern. Up and over the blue 8-day EMA would be interesting to me. So I'm going to put my little green circle here and say it's a little early yet, because it is consolidating, but if it does break out of this area and move up and over, that would be interesting to me. So I'm going to throw on my study. I know everyone has their own way of doing things, but what I like to see is the pink, which is the 3 EMA, move up and over the blue. So we already have the 3 over the blue. but personally I'd be waiting for a break out of this little pattern here and into this area. Be on the lookout for it in the days ahead, should the market continue higher. Along with my new watch list pick, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at XLB, which is the ETF for the materials sector, 2-year weekly chart. As you can see, like US Steel, in an uptrend on the 2-year chart, and at an area of support in here, and still showing that strength with price up and over the blue 8-day EMA on the weekly. We had a nice strong candle last week. We'll see if we get continuation this week. So sector in an uptrend. I also like to spin over and take a look at FinViz to see if I've got analyst support for my new watch list pick. And this is the analyst section for US Steel. As you can see, it's had some recent upgrades, reiterations, and they're all pretty recent as to this year. I also like to take a look at seasonality, and for that I go over to equityclock.com, which is an excellent site. I really like it a lot. We're looking at the seasonal chart for US Steel. As you can see, in June, July, it does have this little uptick here, and then it falls off in seasonal favor until October, where it shows some real strength. There's no guarantee this happens again this year, but it's always good to know. For me, the chart and the chart pattern prevails over anything else. And so to quickly recap, let's go back and check the boxes. I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that overall the Russell is in an uptrend on the 5-year monthly chart, and price is currently up and over the 8-day EMA on both the daily and weekly chart. But as we mentioned, FOMC meeting starting today, interest rate decision possibly, you want to be careful for sure. We looked at the sector that US Steel is in, the materials ETF XLB. It's in an uptrend on the 2-year chart and looks to be lifting off an area of support. US Steel is in an uptrend on the 2-year chart and at an area of support and possible, emphasis on possible, price strength continuation. We'll see. It's all about the markets overall. It's got an excellent value score, really high value score. It's got a good growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 39%, a current dividend yield of 0.54%. It does have that 3 and 8 EMA daily cross that I look for, but it's consolidating. I want to see it lift up and over into my green circle. It's got seasonality in its favor, analyst support. We took a look at FinViz. It's got a current PE of 10.94, and it looks like earnings are on July 24th. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. It looks like it's going to be an interesting week ahead, so I look forward to seeing you Thursday. Thanks for watching.